let's look at the potential threat environment that exists in the United States due to the uncontrolled migration and uncontrolled southern border during the Biden years. You see a number of 11 million people being used by the government previously to say this is how many people crossed into our country, most likely in an uncontrolled and or illegal fashion. But I would say that if they're willing to admit to 11 million, it's more likely close to 15 to 20 million people. So one of the small populations of this 11 million people was the 300 to 400 people who were encountered at the southern border, who were on the terrorist watch list. And some were admitted to the country anyway, and some were turned away. I don't have those exact numbers, but that's the amount of people at the southern border who came to the border and were encountered from the terror watch list. My question is what about all the serious operators and terrorists who knew better to avoid our border screening and border protection personnel? So of that 11 million people, let's take an estimate of 25% of those folks being military age males, meaning they were in the age range of 17 to 42 years old. So that gives us an estimated 2.75 million people. I took 25% because, according to open source internet numbers in the early 20s, or 2020s, I'm sorry, they showed that of the 10 million illegal immigrants in the country, about 2.99 million were males in that 17 to 42-year-old range of age. So I thought 25% was a fair estimate. So you're looking at 2.75 million people. Of those people, I took an estimate of 0.1% of those folks being possible gang members, criminals, terrorists, or spies, or other people of ill repute. Now, I used that 0.1% as a very conservative number, and I looked at our own population where 1% of the people of the United States commit 63% of the crimes, and 8% of adults in the United States were cited as having felony convictions or having committed felony crimes. So I thought 0.1% was a very reasonable conservative estimate for this population of folks at this 2.75 million mark. So you're looking at about 2,750 people. Now, for context, let's look at this. The U.S. Army organizational structure defines a battalion size element as being approximately 500 to 600 people. 500, 600. So if you're looking at 2,750 people and you have battalion level strength between 500 and 600 people, so what we had was potentially approximately 5 battalion strength elements of bad guys that could have moved into the U.S. during the Biden years, during a time of very lax security, political wrangling, and open borders. So my question is would we have been okay with this movement of people if they were wearing military uniforms from other countries and crossing our borders like an invading force? Would we been okay about that? Now, question is now for my former law enforcement and intelligence colleagues, what are we doing about it? Are we looking for these people? Are we taking action to remove them from the country? Are we looking to mitigate threats in our communities? And are we trying to figure out what kind of threats exist that face the American people at this point? So my question is, how do we move forward, mitigate these threats, and protect the American people? And again, at the bottom, you'll see the note that it says all estimates are very conservative. These numbers could be much larger. So think about that. Thank you. Have a good day.